Hey guys, Deltrice Hart Anderson here of D Hart Accounting, where we keep the IRS out of your pocketbooks, wallets, and bank accounts. So this is my last day of vacationing. So my husband had a work trip, and I decided long before we got here how I could take this vacation for myself, as well as mix in some business so that I could have some write-offs. Okay. Now, I suggest that you do something very similar. So if you can find the right business reason and spend enough time on a trip to do business, then you can make your travel expenses or some of those travel expenses deductible. I am not one of those accountants that says, oh, you could write off everything. You could write off your whole travel, because that is not true. That's gonna get you in trouble with the IRS. And I am not about to get you in trouble with the IRS. It's not going to happen on my dime. So I have 5 tips where you can definitely turn any vacation, any conference that you're on with a spouse or a friend or whomever you're with, where you could turn those expenses that you incur into deductible travel business expenses. Okay. So, number one, make sure that you have a profit motive. Okay. So, you need to have a reason why you expect that trip will make money for you, or money for the business, I should say, not money for you, but money for the business, whether immediately or sometime in the future. Number two, stay overnight. You have to, in order for a travel expense to be a travel expense, you have to make sure that you have to rest overnight or sleep overnight. You can get deductions for a business trip. And I'm not going to air quote, I'm just going to say a business trip on which you have to stay overnight away from your home. Now, I didn't say you have to pay for that overnight stay. In my case, my husband had a conference, right? We slept in the same room that his job paid for, right? He was going to have that room anyways. But in order for me to do business in that city, I had to stay overnight. Okay. Number three, apply the for only test. And when I say apply the for only test, when you plan the trip, and it needs to be planned, it can't be spur of the moment. Oh, I'm headed to any city, any town, any state because I'm just going today. No, it needs to be planned. So when you plan your trip, you want to ask yourself a question. Would a rational person travel for only the business reason, whatever that business reason is? Or is there a personal element so important that this trip does not make business sense? All right. So ask yourself the for only question. Number four, pass the primary purpose test. When I say pass the primary purpose test for travel in the United States, the easiest way to pass that primary purpose test is to make sure the majority of your travel days are for business. The majority. Didn't say all, I just said the majority. Lastly, number five, maintain good records. Okay? That is the most important step for your business, whether you're traveling or not. But for what we're talking about here, make sure that you document. Okay? You keep good business travel records in order for you to deduct business travel. Got to keep those records. I tell everyone on those receipts the who, what, when, where. Okay? Who, what, when, where. Most all the receipts will have the when, They're going to have the where, you fill in the what, you fill in the who, okay? But you must keep and maintain good records. There are some records you don't necessarily have to have in order to deduct, which my clients, we talk about that, but keep records, keep good records, because I promise you, you don't want to play in the IRS's face when it comes to records. Y'all know mostly what I do is get people out of tax trouble. And when they're in tax trouble, the first thing, if they're audited, guess what the IRS is going to want? They're going to want books and records, receipts. They need to know. Okay. So that's all I have for you guys today. Make sure and keep good records, have a profit motive, stay overnight, apply the only test, and make sure you can pass the primary purpose test. All right. Hopefully this was helpful. If you need help fleshing this out, y'all know how to reach me. www.callthetaxpro.com, and I'll be happy to help. Take care.